Hello, I'm Audrey Keither and this is my daughter Vivian. We're from ohsolovelyblog.com and we are going to be showing you a really easy banner that you can make from items from scraps. We need some felt, pom-poms if you have them, not necessary. I provided a template with the alphabet that you can use if you don't like your own handwriting for block letters. You need some sharp scissors and some kind of either ribbon, yarn, whatever you have on hand. I'm going to go ahead and just use this white yarn, and then you're going to need there's different ways to do this. I'm going to use this sewing needle here that has a really big opening that fits yarn through it. If you don't have this on hand, it's totally fine. You could use hot glue and a hot glue gun, get creative with whatever you have, but really easy. We're going to go ahead and get started. So you can either use this free template that we provided to trace out letters if you don't like the way you do your handwriting. So that would be really easy. All you do is trace. It doesn't need to be perfect. When you're cutting, you're going to go inside the black lines. This just kind of serves as a guide. And you could choose whatever colors you want. I'm going with 3 colors because we're going to be doing fa la la on ours. And I think just 3 colors will look good with that. But so you could either do that. What I'm going to do is try out my own handwriting and see which one I like better. I want to do my own handwriting because it's a little taller here. But if you did want to use this, but you want it to be bigger, you could also print it out a little bit larger, maybe 150% and not actual size. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my own handwriting. So I'm gonna go ahead and do, let's see, here we'll go. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I kind of like this because they can even be a little bit different sizes and look a little bit more organic. I'm not gonna do the hole in any of the A's just because it'll be easier that way. So FA, I think let's do turquoise. I'm gonna keep it to 3 colors on this one, but you can go crazy as you want. Use a different color for every letter if you'd like. So here's what we have so far. So F-A, L, and then we'll do A here because we're gonna go in kind of a pattern. And then I'm gonna have Vivi help me start cutting these out in just a minute. Are you ready to get going on some scissors? All right. All right, so I hand lettered my felt and now it's time to cut, and Vivi's gonna help me with these red ones, and you just wanna kind of cut on the inside of the black line, and the sharper the scissors, the better. And again, you can get all these supplies at Scraps, and if you sign up for the kit, they're gonna be included in your kit. So if not, you can easily run to Scraps and grab some, or if, at your local craft store if that's closer to you, but definitely recommend Scraps. So I am gonna do cutting as well here. See if we can knock this out real quick. Hopefully these scissors are sharp enough. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect. I kind of like a more organic looking banner. I never really get into perfection on this kind of stuff, but it'll be super cute. So do the best you can. And if, let's say this L is too tall, if that were to happen, you could just trim off more once you get them all kind of laid out and see how they look. How you doing, Viv?
Good.
What's your favorite color of these? Turquoise, pink, or red?
Pink.
I figured as much. And Vivi and I do a lot of DIY craft projects over on my blog at ohsolovelyblog.com. So if you ever want any inspiration for any projects you can do with your kids, there's a ton there over in the DIY column if you want to look at some of our latest crafts we've done. And she's kind of my little sidekick. How old are you, Viv?
7.
7. What grade are you in?
2nd.
Yeah. And you love Brenda and Scraps Casey, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of your favorite people ever. So again, you could do fun, colorful colors. You could do red and green and white, traditional colors. Really, the colors are up to you. And I'm gonna actually be hanging this banner in this room, and I'm kind of going with a pink, turquoise, and red theme here. We'll probably just end up hanging it on this wall, but we'll get to that point here pretty soon. How you doing on your cutting?
Good.
Good. Okay. Perfect. This goes pretty quick once you get going. And I'm gonna try to add some pom-poms to mine, but again, that's just an optional thing. But I thought it might add a little bit more festivity since we have a ton on hand. But I believe Scraps also has some of those too if you go. They have a little bit of everything. You probably all know because you've probably all been there. See how these are kind of different? That doesn't bother me at all. I think it's kind of cool to make them kind of a little different. But you can tell they go together, but just slightly different. And we're almost done here. I think we only have a couple letters left. And again, you'll get a link to download this if you don't want to do your own hand lettering. And again, you can print it out larger if you want them to be bigger. Yeah, honey, can you just, yeah, you just cut that last line and it should kind of fall right out. Good job. And we'll go ahead and finish this up and I'll show you once they're all cut. Okay, we're gonna take our felt and set it aside, but we do have all of our letters cut out. And again, you could do anything you want. You could do Be Merry. If you don't celebrate the holidays, you can do something else, winter themed or whatever you wanna do. So that's your own option. But we went ahead and did Fa La La. And I also thought laying it out before I start putting it into my banner with the yarn, just to kind of get an idea of what we want makes the most sense. But I got these little pom-poms. Again, those are just optional. You don't have to have them. But I thought it could be kind of cute to kind of string those through as we go. And it's kind of nice when you have a yarn, you can adjust it left and right as needed. So hopefully that goes smoothly. So again, what you're gonna wanna do is get a really big thread needle here with a big hole that fits yarn through it. Again, or you could do some kind of ribbon if you have that on hand, or if you find that at scraps, and just hot glue. I'd probably do hot glue for this. You just put it underneath and have the letters on top. I'm gonna do the yarn option. But so what you're gonna wanna do is, we'll turn these this way so I can work from my angle here. But, okay, so I have my yarn. I have just a little bit of excess that you're gonna wanna keep and just thread it through your needle. And I'm gonna go ahead and start threading everything through left to right. So again, if you don't have pom-poms, you don't have to worry, just skip this step. But try not to get your fingers. This probably isn't a good kid project. I will be doing this part. But then you just kind of pull it through, and it might take a little bit of force because it's such a thick piece of yarn. And then pull the next guy through, however you have it in order. And just make sure you're always keeping some of the yarn left in excess here. And you're gonna wanna slide it everything down. And then when you're gonna time for the letters, you're gonna wanna go in from the top and then up from the back side. That way you don't have that white yarn in front and you'll have it on the back side each time. Let's see if I can. And it's okay if it kind of bends and stuff, you could just flatten it out as you pull it down the yarn. So see, now you have that attached, and it's nice because you can still shuffle things around if you don't like the way it's spaced out. This gives you a ton of flexibility, but again, you could just use hot glue if that's what you have and make it work that way. I might do another version after this with just ribbon and hot glue. What do you think, Viv? Pretty easy, right?
Looks cool.
And then I'm gonna do pom-pom. And see, this gets really quick once you get going. Definitely shouldn't intimidate you. It's a really easy project. And if you don't have felt, you could also use just like heavy cardstock or maybe scrapbook paper or whatever you can find at scraps or whatever you have on hand. That's kind of nice. There's really no rules. Also, I need to keep pulling these down. Give myself some room. And you're gonna want at least 6 to 10 inches at the beginning and end of your banner of excess yarn so you can hang it or whatever you decide to do with this guy. But again, all you're doing, you're just repeating all the same steps. Pulls through. Perfect. Pom-pom. And you could also do like wood beads or, you know, Scraps has so many cool things you can find. So you get creative. If you see something that might work, definitely grab it. Or if you have something laying around your house. The L's a little harder because it's skinnier, but that worked just fine as well. And we are almost done, guys. Let's see here. What do you think? You think you could do this? You think you'd poke your finger? Or you think you could do it without injury? Yeah, it definitely hurts. So definitely watch your fingers when you're, especially if you're doing pom-poms. These are a little harder to pull through. Gotta really use your hand strength here. Come on, guy. There we go. And then one pom-pom left. I don't want to jinx myself here, but I've gotten through this whole thing without poking my finger. Pretty proud of myself. So then all you do is simply pull out your needle and thread, and you're left with this guy, which I'll space out, and I'm going to show you what it looks like hung on our wall. You want to help me hang it?
Yeah.
Okay. And now it's time to hang. You can use anything you want. I have this kind of gold foil duct tape, which is really cool. You can use, you know, tack, any other kind of washi tape, whatever you have, so get creative. I just cut small strips and just simply tape them on, and here you go. And you can, as you can see, you can adjust anything if you want to get the spacing right, but I think it turned out pretty cute for a less than 5-minute project. I think we're gonna make a couple more, and we might even do some up the wall and do like a whole Christmas carol. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to check out Oh So Lovely blog for more ideas.